Hey, energy party people. Smudge the stage. Smudging the stage. Some palo santo. Waiting for the crowd to gather together. Yes, this is how I am even when I'm alone, like this moment. All right, cut the smudge. All right. Oh, two people are here already. Yay! Hi, Karen. Hi, Yvonne. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's drop the music. All right. So, hello, energy party people. Welcome to another, that's right, incredibly rousing and titillating episode of Magic Mondays. I'm Colleen McCann, if you don't know, um, in case you can't read. Um, yeah, energy healer extraordinaire, because I am a legend in my own mind. Okie dokie. So let's see. Today's sponsor is Shea Girl for skincare needs for women. Shea Girl. Shea Girl Shea. Okay. Let's see. Well, I am out of my cocoon that I was in last week, and oh, what a relief. Started coming out of it, I guess, on Thursday, and then Friday, it's like, I felt so good. And Saturday, I felt even better. Sunday was good too, and today's good too. Um, yeah, so much more physical energy, interest in life, able to get shit done, glamorous shit like paying bills, doing laundry. Yeah. Um, and just to throw it out there in case it helps anybody, if you start to notice, if you're, I'll just say it for magic people, but you could do this as a regular human as well that doesn't resonate with that. Hi, Roy, and hi, Erica. Yay. Aw. Erica says, "Hey, party people. Hope your Monday is amazing." Me too. Um, yeah. So something I mentioned it last time. Something I do or I did a while back because I started realizing, this thing is happening again. This cycle where it's just like everything shuts down. Usually, my nobody's asking for sessions either. Like everything shuts down. I was crying about last week about I shouldn't roll my eyes at me, but I was kind of mourning the loss of feeling creative, and I'm very creative throughout my days. I wish it'd be nice if I was doing something as important as, oh, I make paintings or something like that. Oh, thanks, Karen. Karen says she's happy that I'm back to myself. Um, yeah, anyway, it's like the world's brighter again, and yeah, so lovely. And what I shared last week was I have this big I use it as a journal, but it's basically like a big hardcover sketchbook, spiral bound, if you care. Thanks, Amazon. And I started making notes to myself of what these cocoon times mean to me. And to me, ultimately, I wrote this down because they feel like shit oftentimes, or it's just like nothing's going on. And it just, I'm a slug basically. And I'm trying to learn and remind myself, hey, these are magic times, just like a butterfly that changes its configuration completely when it goes into a cocoon and it comes out a fucking butterfly, which is beautiful. So, yeah. So I'm just sharing that with you in case that helps you. Like, I remind myself, I have it in writing. What I'm getting at is like during these times, these are the ways I feel. And this is inevitably how I'll come out of it in some way. I'll come out of it transformed and stronger or more powerful or something. And this time has been no different. And it's been just lovely. And it's really interesting because it's my first cocoon time since since stepping into my what resonates as my ancient magic, and another shout out to Mimi Clark of Gaia Blooming and her beautiful astrology reading for me, where she suggested you might want to start poking around about your ancient magic. And sure enough, it's been really interesting. Oh, yeah. And so last week, busted out with some ancient magic for the group. And I remember a few of you sent me a message live that you felt something. Um, and then also found out from one of you later, you know who you are, that they had an instance of I wish I remember everything she experienced. People tell me a lot of things all the time, so it's hard for me to keep track. But something happened. It sounds like it kind of shook something loose for her, and she couldn't see for a few seconds. Dun dun dun. So, what? Yeah. Anyway, but it kind of shook something loose that she needs to be. It looks like she needs to be confronting. So sorry, not sorry. Um, yeah, and being able to confront things is a huge skill, and I got better at it. I'm gonna give credit where it's due, even though the rest of it they can go fuck themselves. The Scientologists are big on confronting. Oh, unless you confront them, then it's a whole nother story. Um, but in general, they're big on confronting. And I learned how to confront things better, and I've learned the magic of yeah, confronting the shit I don't want to look at. Do I have plenty of other stuff I don't want to confront? What's the word? Fuck yeah. Oh, words. Fuck yeah. But life is a work in progress. Um, yeah. Mary Bridget Gaffney, present. Welcome, Mary. And hi, Heather. Nice to see you. And I really want to see you and Tom soon. And if I left it up to the boys, they're never going to figure this out. So I'm hoping that we can get together soon. Anyway, I'll just tell you that right now. Oh, hi, Laura. Glad you're here too. Yeah. So blah, blah, blah. If you find yourself if you find yourself going through cycles, we all do, I would imagine. Um, and I just tend to, I feel like an inherent, is that the right word? Part of my job is paying attention, or I just do it. It's just what I do. I tend to pay attention to wait for it. I can get there. Patterns. Yeah, I tend to look at patterns, and I'm always trying to look for ways to make my life better and easier, and because being sensitive is really fucking hard. Yeah, but it's been made easier by the work that I do, and of course all the beautiful things I learned from other people, coping skills. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty fucking into my work. Yeah, like I said, I'm interested in other people's work, but my work that's coming through me, my magic is so fascinating to me that keeps me pretty well occupied. Open to suggestions, but yeah, don't fuck with my work. Anyway, so where am I going with this? But if you happen to notice that you go through times that you start noticing your patterns, you might want to write down notes to yourself to refer to when you kind of forget about all the magic that's happening to you during those downtimes. Um, yeah, anywho, so I feel so much better. And as I was coming out of my cocoon, it was last Friday, I think it must have been after my writing group, which I love. But anyway, and I'm feeling much less stuck around my book, so it's really nice. Um, but I discovered a new binge, which I've already binged. I'm so sad it's over. But if you're interested in shit like this, it's called Life After Death. Life After Death with Tyler Henry. And his last show, he's this young medium. Um, yeah. What does eating too much sugar do to it makes a medium? Oh, never mind. Why am I trying to think of this stupid joke I made up a long time about my friend who's a medium? Yeah. something about becoming a large if you eat too much. Yeah. Anyway, so not great. It was probably like a dad joke. Yeah, but Life After Death with Tyler Henry, really interesting. So he had a show called Hollywood Medium, um, where he, that's right, read Hollywood Peeps. But this one is different, and this show, the reason I loved it so much, like I love seeing him work his magic and how he does it. And he does all this scribbling to like, that's how he like taps in to being able to tap into other people coming through. Um, yeah, and so it's fun to watch somebody else's magic because all of our magic is different. So if you're pursuing yours is going to look different than mine or Tyler's, if I dare compare us. Um, yeah, and I keep looking over at the clock because it's almost 11:11, or for some of you, it's almost 111, which is my particular favorite number. And we're going to take a moment of Zen. Oh, right now. So, let's see. What do I want to pick here? So, if you're playing, let's just look at this pretty super close up of one of our house plants. Look at all the life that's happening in a square inch. Anyway, so if you're playing along, go ahead and stop, close your eyes if you'd like, and put something out to the universe. Put a little wish out to the universe. Or let's all send some love to Ukraine and its people and the world. And let's also put some energy toward the people of Russia because you know they're not all Putin, just like the US was not all Trump. Let's keep that in mind. So sending lots of love to Russia as well. Yeah. So whatever I was talking about, I'm sure it was amazing. Yes, Heather, she agrees to, I believe, probably just sending love to Ukraine and Russia, but yeah, let's get together. Anyway, yeah. So back to what I was trying to say, make notes to yourself to remind you of, like, for me, I need to remember, constantly be reminded when I'm in these like kind of boring bits where I'm reconfiguring. Make notes to yourself of what to expect or what you believe is really happening. Um Remind yourself that magic is coming out the other end. Oh, you don't know if there's magic coming out the other end? Decide magic's coming out the other end and just fucking go with it. Just try it on. Like, play. It's a game. Our lives are games. It's how I look at it because I need lots of fun. And spoiler, you're more in control of your game than you probably realize. So, yeah. Anywho's a woozle, to quote the great Pete Holmes, who's a stand-up, whose podcast we love. Yeah, called "You Made It Weird" with Pete Holmes. Anyway, what do I want to do? Oh, so I was talking about and life after death, and what I love is he shows or he talks about, well, and he shows um how so part of the show is showing him doing readings, and it's just like, of course, he nails things that you couldn't possibly know. He's very humble. He's very cute. He's like this young, cute gay boy. Um, and but he shows more behind the scenes of what it's like to be him. Fuck, am I gonna cry already? Damn it. Don't feel like crying yet. Um, like I ever feel like crying. Um, but what was really cool to me is to see and I don't think this is cool for him because it sucks. But he really shows and talks about how what he does takes a toll on him. Um, yeah, it wears him out. And he showed like repeatedly. So he's this young gay man. He does have a boyfriend who lives elsewhere. Um, but he lives with his mother. I don't think he drives. He's always driven to where he goes. He never knows where he's going either or who he's going to talk to. Um, and but it shows him a lot, like his mother saying, "Get out of bed. Like, you can't be in bed all the time." And he said, like, "I spend a lot of time just being really," I don't remember if he said sedentary, but very sedentary. And so do I. Um, yeah, and coming out of my cocoon period was like, I just like am moving a lot because it feels so good to move. Um, but when I do sessions for people, um, It depends on the person in the session and how many sessions I've done that day, blah, blah, blah. But it even though I'm sitting on my ass on our couch talking to somebody for maybe an hour, hour and a half, or even by myself, but it takes something. Energy. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Um, yeah, and I get real tired. Um, yeah, and it was, let's just say, um, I guess validating, is the best word. It was really validating to see this guy, even at, like, let's just say he's 25, somewhere between 25 and 30, but to see how much it takes out of him, and for him, he has a lot I have visceral experiences. Like, I did a session for somebody the other day, and what came up was ancient magic, to do for her situation, and I was feeling really good. It was on Friday, coming out of my cocoon, so I felt very, very full of energy, very powerful. But at some point, like going into that ancient magic, wherever I was led, I had to bawl for her for a minute or so. Like I cried. I went from nothing to sobbing. Um, and this was all on a recording for her, so I could really let it go. Yeah, I sobbed for her for a while, felt some other visceral, stuff, and that took care of whatever that was. Um, yeah, so that's been interesting, but seeing Tyler Henry, talk about his stuff, and one of the things he said, and I thought was so funny because 'cause I've thought this about myself too sometimes, is he's like, "People might be surprised of how boring I am when I'm not working, when I'm not doing my thing. When I'm not doing my spectacular thing, I'm fucking boring." And I don't think I'm boring, but sort of, like, do yeah. My work is a lot of who I am, so yeah. Anyway, that's my plug. Check out on Netflix, Life After Death with Tyler Henry. Yeah, it's if you're into this kind of shit, you won't be sorry. Um, and there's only 9 episodes, and I blew them all in the last week, and I'm so bummed. But it was so good. I hope he does another season. Yeah. And just another energy story before we bring on Coop and find out about his, yeah, that's right, his facial hair situation. I haven't seen Coop in a couple of weeks. We haven't seen Coop in a couple of weeks. But I just wanted to say, since it's written right here to remind me, because I have all these magical experiences and then I kind of forget about them unless I write them down to share with you. Um, yeah. But so my husband Dave is a chiropractor. He's amazing. Um, and he does a lot of different things and he sees things from a different perspective. Uh, but he regularly has a new chiropractic or nutrition or whatever patient coming in. Um, he'll make a video for them just to introduce himself and explain like, okay, this is how it's going to go. And so he creates these videos so it doesn't, why am I explaining this? So it doesn't he doesn't have to explain as much and use up as much time during a session. Um, yeah. And so he made a video for this patient, this future patient. And I heard him upstairs like, oh, what the fuck? And so I'm like, what's going on? And he said, like, I keep trying to send this video and it will not send. He couldn't even replay it for himself to watch. Oh yeah, he needed to rewatch it before he sent it. And it just like no matter what he did, he couldn't send it. And finally, after I hear him struggling on things after a while, my glasses are getting fogged up from my crying. Anyway, so glamorous. Live. Um, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, give me a moment. My hair makes me crazy. Dave thinks it's cute, so that's good. Anyway, he has to look at me the most. So, da, 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 da. Oh, so I heard him struggling with this for a while, and so I threw out to him like, "Want me to check it energetically?" And he's like, "Why not?" And so I got out my pendulum. I tried using his pendulum because it was closest, and nope. So I went downstairs and got my pendulum, and I started checking in on it, and I stopped testing as me, I believe, and I got that there was somebody dark coming through, a dark gentleman in non-physical form, and he was not interested in me. He was interested in this patient Dave was going to see. Um, and so I asked him if he was interested in my help in returning to grace, meaning returning to the light, thereby disengaging or getting off of um, the patient. And I got a yes, he was interested and did this or that. I don't even know what we did. Oh, I think I cleared a suffering loop because that's what resonated. And Gaia took care of it. And that's all he needed. Was testing as myself again and got that's all we needed to do. And then Dave checked back on the thing the video he kept trying to watch. And guess what? Guess what worked all of a sudden? Yeah, it's interesting when electronics are involved, but seriously, anything is worth checking. And one of the reasons I do this show, is to let you know that if you are a magic person or you're a sensitive person and you're interested in any of this, you too can start pursuing your magic, and that's part of what my book is about. Um, yeah. Anyway, but then Dave watched back the video and he realized, "Oh, I can't send this, like, it was crap." And so he redid it and sent it to the patient. I'm sure it worked out great. Anywho, okay, well, I don't know about you, but I'm on the edge of my seat to see with Koop, beard or no beard. That's right. Oops. Oh, and wait for it. This is important. I should really have this all queued up, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Wait for it, wait for it. Do, 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 do. We're catching up with Coop. We're catching up with Coop. Yeah. All right. So without further ado, hello, my friend.
Ta-da!
Welcome back. Oh, I see there's facial hair.
There is, yeah. I'm kind of leaning into it. I mean, it gets to a certain point. I guess it's too long, and but yeah, I think it kind of gives me a little bit of dignity, anyway. A little bit people do kind of look at me a little bit differently because it's my hair. I don't have a whole lot of gray going on up here, so yeah, people will treat me more accordingly to my age. They see all the gray.
Maybe it's kind of like our old dog Charcoal. He had black hair.
Yeah.
Charcoal. As you can imagine. But as he became more older, he had wow. Is that Aries?
He thinks he hears somebody outside.
Oh. Charcoal would get what we would call grizzle chops.
Oh, okay.
Where he'd have gray around his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my dogs are kind of headed that way. Aries is about 11 now, so yeah. And for Huskies are like maybe 15. They'll go 15 years maybe. So yeah, he's getting towards. I mean, yeah, he's kind of old man. So he's one side of him that used to be black are now gray because his white's coming in. So, but, an interesting story about the computer thing.
Beautiful. Your dogs are
about your computer story there, because as someone who does a lot of time working on computers, sometimes there is just no explanation for what is going on. There's like no reason why what's happening should be happening.
Like right now, you're delayed.
I never considered that that maybe there's something, because I mean, even think about like the first large scale use of electronics was probably in World War II, and there's things called gremlins, and I mean things would just go wrong and things would get fucked up, and they had they couldn't understand. There must be some little creature coming in the middle of the night and wrecking things, as far as they could. I mean, yeah, so. I don't know. I mean, think about, there's all kinds of waves and all kinds of energy flowing around there. Who knows what goes on? What kind of connection there could be there? So,
well, first of all, I want to say hi to Mimi and Pila. I almost called you Pia. That's not a double L. Hi, Pila. Mimi. Yeah. So with electronics, there's sometimes where my iPhone I'll have it charging for hours, like getting ready for a session or something, and then it's like, why is it less than it was? Why is it less charged than it was an hour or two ago? And then I'll check in, and oftentimes I'll ask, like, okay, my iPhone soul is the only soul that inhabits my iPhone. Nope.
You know,
Oftentimes, it's somebody else's energies in there, and they need to clean up, like, whatever they need in order to get their energy out, and then I plug in it, and it's absolutely fine. Um, One of my favorite stories is back in the day, we had something called, a Zyto scan. You put your hand on this hand cradle, and it was connected to the computer, and it, like, checked, uh, wow, meridians,
okay,
acupuncture meridians, and show you where you're off, you know, whatever. And it wasn't working one day. And so Dave was on the phone for like a half hour with the remote fix it guy in Utah, the
okay.
person at the company who could fix it. And the guy looked at it forever and kept getting off the phone and checking this and that. And Dave was just on the phone forever. And the guy's like, "What is going on? I can't figure this out." And finally, I'm like, "I'm so bored of hearing about this. So let's go ahead and check." This is many years ago. And so I remember I sat, it was our old apartment, who cares? But I was sitting in our copper pyramid, made of copper piping, sat in the papasan chair in the copper pyramid and got out my pendulum and asked, like, "Okay, is there something energetic going on here with the Zyto scan?" And it was a big yes. And through one way or another, through my system of questions, I got that there was an energetic cord between the Zyto scan hand cradle, which I used to call my boyfriend, but that's another story. Anyway, I was just so in love with this whole system. But anyway, I got it. There was a cord between the Zyto scan and one of my crystals in my office, because that's where the Zyto scan lived.
Interesting.
And I got it was, oh, for people who love crystals, it's green. I forget what it's called. Not good at this stuff. Anyway, ooh, and just to backtrack, Mary's like, "Hi, Coop, looking so happy." Anyway, yeah, so I'll get through this story, I promise. It's green. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But I usually know this. Okay. But I got it was safe to cut the cord. And then the hand cradle was working just fine because the guy came back on the phone and was like, Dave's like, "It seems to be working now." And the guy's like, "Yeah, what happened? What'd you do?" And then Dave said, "Oh, my wife's an energy healer and she cut a cord." And the guy's like, okay. And hung up, it's like he didn't give two fucks.
It's such a weird story. Wow.
Like, why are people more interested? I don't get it. Or maybe they just can't wrap their brains around it. I don't know.
No, there's so
Um,
often things that happen that should not be happening. And this gives you a whole nother avenue to explore, I guess. Maybe next time I have it, I'll have to call you sometime and say, "Can you like check
yeah,
in
let's
on my
check it out.
computer?"
Let's
Yeah,
check it
I
out.
break things a lot, and it's like, and I mean, it's hard enough fixing the things that I break semi-intentionally just to see how far I can push things. But yeah, so there's like there's no explanation for what's happening at all, and there's something going on that I beyond my philosophy, So
Yeah.
yeah.
And just to finish out the story,
Uh-oh, I
when
lost
it came up, it's like, holy shit, like something I had been playing. I was always experimenting with this thing. I could go on for days about just things I experienced with that. But basically, this hand cradle, the Zyto hand cradle, at one point, I'd gotten that I needed to put that crystal right up against it, like days before.
you. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what had happened, but I had to cut an energetic cord.
They like each other,
Um,
huh? So maybe they're like they're kind of like boyfriend girlfriend. I don't know.
that's what keeps going through my head, but I'm not saying it.
The Kratos
Yeah,
and the Crystal like each other.
yeah, it was crazy. Anyway, so how was your last week, Coop?
Oh, it was very nice. I feel like I was kind of telling you, I feel more normal than I have in a while. And normal,
Nice. Me
I
too.
I'm able to like when the dishwasher or the dish, I do the dishes and I can do laundry and I can actually go out to the mailbox to get the mail and I'm doing things that normal people do every day and I can see myself, you know, not being the way that I have been for months and months. So yeah,
So
still
like,
I don't have a roommate yet, so that's probably I've been kind of dragging my heels on that. I'm not really anxious. I'm pretty. I for the most part, I've loved living alone. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little anxious about letting someone into my space. I guess, but
maybe you'll find somebody who loves living alone too, and maybe they'll just stay in their room a lot or be at
well,
work a
but then
lot.
again, I mean, I between last week and my mom visited the week 2 weeks before that. So, and having someone around has really been helpful to me, my mood and just my energy level, and yeah, not being free to wallow, and keeps up my desire to maintain things and not let things go. So
Yeah.
it maybe I mean I used to not think twice about having a roommate. I mean, like living in the same bedroom.
Right.
So so what's the deal? They have their own room upstairs. I don't know. I don't know why I'm tripping out so much on it. So why I'm driving heels on that. But
We're going to
no,
it.
like,
Remember how it used to be normal to like way, way, way back in the day, like, oh, well, let's go to this city or whatever, and we'll pile 6 people in a hotel room.
I'll just lay on the floor.
Oof. No sharesies anymore. No way.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
no, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. Americans have a really exaggerated sense of personal space anyway, right? I mean, we just
Oh,
have huge
probably.
houses, huge
I know this
cars.
one does.
So, anyway, so I have to, I mean, for the most human history, we lived in huts, like the whole family.
I know,
I mean,
right?
everybody in one big room, and that's it.
Mm.
I know, right? So it's doable. But no, like I got my taxes done,
Show off.
so that was kind of an adventure because well, I got some tax guidance from Cheryl. You need to file married but separate, and then it turns out that really wasn't it at all. So yeah, I went down a big rabbit hole. But anyway, it's done.
Oh,
Um,
good.
and no, and it turns out I have been under the assumption that I didn't have health insurance, but I do. So
Wow.
that
Okay.
came up when talking to her about taxes. So yes, no, so I have an appointment to see a doctor and a phone screening. If it's like Kaiser was before, last time I went to therapy, um, it's like here's I can get pills like tomorrow, but I won't be able to talk to anybody for like a month. I'll talk to someone for like a half hour or an hour once a month is the Kaiser therapy plan. So that's not really. I'm not looking for pills. I mean, pills may help temporarily, but I just need to talk
I
to somebody
agree.
more than anything. So yeah, so thinking more like I don't know if you have any, but BetterHelp. They've been running a lot of ads online. I've used them before. BetterHelp.com. So
Every podcast in the world seems to be sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp.
BetterHelp. Yeah, just I've used them before. It really, I mean, you still get your hour online, which is equivalent to like an hour in an office. But if something comes up during the week, or you can text them, you can email
Yeah.
them. So it's not just 1 hour a week. It's
So it's kind
you,
of a
you have
little
to
bit more of a
save,
relationship.
yeah, you have to save things up. It's like I try to cram it all into that 1 hour, and relatively cost wise, it's very reasonable. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm signing up for that. Unfortunately,
Cool.
when my mom was here, I go into the story about how she misplaced my cereal, and
Oh, didn't you say she took it home and probably ate it?
well, she packed it to go home. At one point, we rescued it. We took it out,
Interesting.
but then it was gone again. So anyway, but no, since she left, I can't find my book. It was in my like
Oh,
literally
your
in
emotional
my bed,
support.
like in my bed under the blanket. And my mom made the bed. Actually, this I can't. There's several things I can't find. I don't think she took home with her, but she tidied for me, and now I can't like a big huge duffel bag. It's gone. I don't know where it is.
Wow, we have that happen
And
sometimes. Like, I'm still missing some pot that I squirreled away that a friend gave me one night because I wasn't allowed to, I didn't allow myself to have any marijuana around because I'll just want to smoke it. And I put it in this drawer and then I finally went back for it and it's been gone. Like we joke around, have you found it yet? But I tore apart the house for that little nugget. Not anymore. Colleen's free
yeah,
now. Yeah,
we'll
that
talk about.
happened.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
not
but
saying
we've
it
been
has anything to
missing
do
a
with.
microphone. We've been missing a microphone, a microphone
Oh,
that plugs into nothing, just a prop microphone. We've been
I'm
missing it for
convinced
years. I just found it. Weird.
there are. I mean, things pop in and out of existence. I'm convinced.
Oh my God. Did I ever tell you about it was Christmas a few years ago, and in all of my benevolence, I told Dave, "Hey, you like Christmas? Should we get a tree or something?" Because for me, it's like whatever. And so we didn't have any money hardly, but we went to Michael's and we Oh, we ended up going to Michael's to get a tree, but we also got a bunch of ornaments for super cheap.
Yeah.
But anyway, because I could not find, we tore apart the house, and to this day we still haven't found. I had a box of ornaments that I'd kept over the years, like just the special ones. I don't know where it is, but Dave was in the garage looking and he found a box and that I guess hadn't been opened for like 12 years. We dragged it across the country when we moved him here. And this box, I opened it. So he's in the garage. He's like, oh, go in the house and open this. I open it, and the top one, I forget what it was, but I'm like, whose kind of like fucked up joke is this? Like, why would this be? And it was an ornament. It was like a sparkly, I think it was a sparkly heart with a big, like almost white out, like thunderbolt between like a
Okay.
break.
Yeah.
And it said like Dave's ex-wife's name and Dave's name and the year, and it was the year they broke up. And I'm like, who the fuck would do some shit like this? And
That's
then
wow.
I'm like, what's happened? Like, this his brother, like one of his brothers? No, they would what? They wouldn't have access to this. And then I started digging down in the box, and it was every ornament from all the years that Dave was with his ex-wife, special ornaments she'd made. And when she and Dave split up, he went on a business trip, and she's like, I'll pack up all your shit, because he was about to move out. And apparently she packed this up. She created an ornament. Heartbreaking. She created this
Yeah.
ornament to finish up the set, boxed it up, and we didn't even know it existed. So if this was trying to like hurt him,
Wow.
yeah, it was a
Wow.
long, yeah.
It
And
just
then
all those years, I don't know, you can't
and
really call it dead.
one of the ornaments had a picture of them on their honeymoon. Um, hmm. Anyway, and then Dave kind of ritualistically kind of burned some of them. Anyway, so weird. But my ornaments, they're still lost in space. An entire box, like you said, your duffel bag. Like, where the fuck is a duffel bag
I
gonna
mean,
go?
it's pretty big. It's not like in a drawer. Or
Like, it's
she
not like a
actually
little
packed it.
nugget of pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Erica says things completely pop in and out of existence. It happens to us all the time. Yeah. Oh, and she also says the fairies took it.
I mean,
Anyway.
quantum mechanics. I mean, given enough time, things do. I mean, like a fully grown human being can materialize out of nothing with enough time. I mean, there hasn't been anywhere near enough time for something like that to happen, though. That's what I'm saying. It would be, just endless time. It would take infinity of time for something like that to happen, but it's possible.
I just wish. So I have this weird need to. I've probably mentioned before. I can be sitting in a restaurant. Well, not much in the last 2 years, but I could be sitting in a restaurant, overhear somebody else saying, "Oh, I lost my earring," and it's all I can do to not just go and crawl under their table and start looking. I'm a master finder, if I do say so myself. I know, Pila says,
Useful.
it's like the missing sock in the drawer. Where did it go? Like, seriously, where did it go? I've got a situation like that right now with a missing sock from yesterday.
The spinning tumbler creates a mini black hole.
Yeah, life is interesting. Yeah, so what did I want to say? Anything else you want to say? Well, you can say anything anytime.
I want to hear what your pencil has to say, I guess.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so time for the woo-woo portion of the show. Okay. So, all right. Oh, and just because I see Moss in the background from IT Crowd, well, I just wanted to see if I still remember my song. Sing along if you like. This is the new emergency.
I still can't do it.
From the IT Crowd. Koop, I literally sat and practiced over and over and over because it's so weird the way it's written. It's not in the same like.
It's possible to remember.
What's that?
No, in real life it's just 999, right? Which makes a lot more sense, I think, than 911.
Well, it's not 999. Well, you'll see.
Or maybe is it in Canada? Somewhere it's 999.
Well, let's just see what it is from the IT crowd. Oh, 1-1-8-999-8819-911-9-725-3. Yeah. Anyway, the IT crowd on Netflix, so good.
Well, in the
Yeah.
ad they have the plan. There's like they have the super modern looking police car and like the hot
Oh, yeah,
woman,
the good
the hot
looking.
granny cop, and is standing there. Yeah, looking all yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what old Pindy has to say. What am I doing? What am I doing? Everything's backwards, so it's so odd. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about my pendulum showing. Yeah. All right. So, my name is Colleen and my crew. Yes. Okay. Oh, I don't always say that on my show, but my crew, like, I haven't tested as just me for, oh, I don't know, 10, 11 years. Yeah. So, I have many guides with me. So my name is Colleen and my crew. Yes, our souls are the only souls that inhabit my body, my space, my home, each and every one of my energetic bodies, chakras, clairs, cranial nerves. My third eye is happy, open, happy, and receptive. Okay. Um, I didn't clear myself first, so but it looks like I'm good to go. It's safe and appropriate to work with the group today? Yes. Okay, we're gonna start with the grounding. We are. Okay, so if you're playing, you might want to close your eyes, sit comfortably, or don't. It's your call, it's your game. Okay, so today, let's go ahead and let's start with our root chakra. So that's red. It's down by your tailbone, that energy. That what am I trying to say? So poof. Okay. So go down to your tailbone and to your first chakra and just see that red light getting bigger and bigger and more beautiful and expansive as it's spreading out, 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 out through your entire energy field and out into the world. We're going to send that energy, that red first chakra energy, we're going to root ourselves or ground ourselves down into beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth for a little howdy do with her. And we're going to bring up some of Gaia's beautiful energy. We'll do a little energy exchange and bring up her energy up through our feet, up through circulating through our energy fields. And at the same time, we're going to open up our crown chakras and open up to the beautiful cosmic energy to fill up our energy field and meet up with Gaia's energy. And I always think of this as like, then we are the interface between heaven and earth. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead and see if there's any dead people that are, any stuck souls that are ready to move on. And that's for anybody watching currently live or in the future. Magic is fun that way. So, any dead people that are ready to move to the light, no questions asked, because some of them need a little work first. So, those that are just ready to move on just need an exit strategy. This is your chance. So, are there any dead people that are ready to move on to the light? Yep. Would Jesus be the best escort? Yep. Jesus, are you ready? Yep. Okay. Give us a moment. And just to put it out there, if you're ever wondering if you have a dead person with you or just putting it in your mind as a possible option that most people don't consider, if you're not feeling like yourself, chances are you might have a stuck soul with you and you're feeling their stuff. Um, as I've mentioned before, I've gone from happy as a clam to furious, or I just don't feel like living anymore. Um, because I picked up a dead person who was feeling those things. And yeah, I back when I used to pick up dead people, I would tend to pick up a lot of suicides, murders, stuff like that. Oof, not good. Um, but okay and tolerable when you know how to deal with it. And if you're into this kind of stuff, I'm just going to say it like I often do, get yourself a pendulum. I've got a video on my website, energyhealingwithcolleen.com. Which I'll just put up in case anybody wants to see it. Um, yeah, so I have a video of how to choose and my take on how to choose and use a pendulum and just real basics, and a video about dead people and how to find them and release them, at least the ones that are ready to move on. Anyway, so just keep that in mind if you're feeling icky. Feel free to contact me for a session. And if you're on the fence about doing a session or you don't know if it's the right thing for you, if you want, you're welcome to send me a message and just say, "Hey, can you ask if a session would be good for me?" I have people who do that, and sometimes I get like, "Yeah, you don't need a session," and other times like, "Yeah, that would be a good idea." I'll tell you the truth, I promise. Um, Trust me if you choose to. I'd say I'm a pretty trustworthy person, especially doing my work. Um, yeah, I take it very seriously, no matter how goofy I am. Okay, so that being said, Jesus, have we successfully released the dead people that were ready to go? Yep. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take this down because I feel like it's in my way. All right. So, oops. All right. So, is there some energy healing we can do for the group? No. Okay. My name is Colleen. No. Okay. So, all right. I'm testing as someone else. Ooh, I am. Okay. This is a human on the planet. Okie dokie, it is. Okay. Is this anybody who's watching right now? Yep. Okay. This is a male. Yep. Okay. I don't know if there are there any other boys watching besides you? Roy's
Right.
here. Let's just see. Okay. And probably Art might be watching with Erica. So let's see if it's any of the three of you. So this is for Coop. Nope. This is for Art. Nope. This is for Roy. Okay, Roy. So, okay. Erica says art is. That just sounds like a statement. That sounds like a real
Art.
like art is the end. Uh, that's the name of my new art show. Art is. Yeah. Anyway, so Roy, let's check it out. So there's something, so I'm testing as Roy. Okay. Ooh, okay. I was going to say something really obnoxious, but it's probably too much for right now, too inappropriate. Okay. But I have wanted to be a guy for a day, just saying. Just for you probably know why. Yeah. Or as I used to say, have a dick for a day. Okay. But enough about that. So, is there something we need to do for Roy? There is. Okay. It's safe and appropriate. We have permission to work with Roy. We do. Okay. I like Roy's response. Ooh. Oh. Okay. And he also says you're welcome. Roy is a funny man. Roy, I hope we get to see you and Mary next time we come to Sacramento. You too, Coop. Oh yeah, Coop, you'll still be in Sacramento,
Movie.
assuming
What was that again?
when we come up, whenever that is,
Okay.
hopefully in the spring or something.
I'm here.
Right now, rental cars are so fucking expensive,
I know.
and gas. Yeah, it might be a second. Yeah, gas is crazy. Um, All right. So there's something to do for Roy. Yes. Roy, do we need to check you for usual suspects? We do. Okay. So usual suspects, that's what I mean by we're going to check different nooks and crannies of Roy's energy field, which is something I usually start a session with. Okay. So it's safe and appropriate and we have permission to work with Roy. Yes. Okay. So Roy, your soul is the only soul that inhabits your body. Speak of the devil. Okay, so that's a no. um, Roy, you have one or more deceased people with you. You do. Okay. This is exactly one dead person. Yes. This is a dead male. Yeah, a dead male. Yes. This is a dead female. No. Okay. So is this dead male anybody that you've ever known in this lifetime? No. Okay. So this is a stranger to you? Yes. Okay. So, and people often ask, like, well, how would I have picked up a dead person? And I usually start with, well, I didn't go to dead people release school. Some of us have to learn this shit like a dog on the street. Um, that's something from Steve Martin. I don't know why I say dog on the street. No dog are concerned with this, me learning this. But one of my theories is if you've got some trapped emotional energy, as we all do, some negative emotional energy in there, I think of let's just say you have a big lump of anger you haven't digested yet. You might not even know it's there. And law of attraction, like if you've got this dead person who maybe was a very angry person, law of attraction, that might be how they were drawn to you because they could sense your anger. Who knows? Who cares? So there's one dead guy with Roy. Okay, is there something? So first of all, is he ready to move on to the light? No. Is there something we can do to help him be ready to move on to the light? Yeah. Okay. This is on my master menu. No, this is on my newer menu. Yes. Okay. So we're going to do some mystery work. We're going to mend a vulnerability in this energy field. No, we're going to heal up a suffering loop. Yeah, those are very popular. So we're going to use bypass circuitry to take care of this, disrupt this pattern of this suffering loop for this dead guy. Yeah. Okay, let me get to that. Here, how about I be a smart person and put my book in front of me? Always using my noggin. Okay, so all right, we're going to use a bypass circuitry to disrupt this pattern of the suffering loop for the dead dude with Roy. Yeah, this is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row? No. Okay. In an even numbered row? Yeah. Okay, this is in row 2. In row 4. In row 4. And this is called conflict transition. So, Gaia, are you ready to facilitate the revelation of this bypass circuitry, thereby disrupting the pattern of this suffering loop for this dead dude with Roy? Yep. Is safe and appropriate from the light for everybody involved? Yep. Are we ready? We are. Okay. So I'm going to close my eyes and hold space for Gaia to do her thing. Give me a moment. Okay. All right. So Gaia, have you successfully facilitated the revelation of this bypass circuitry, thereby disrupting the pattern of the suffering loop for this dark dude? Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks, Gaia. Okay, so is this deceased male with Roy ready to move on to the light? Yep. Okay, would Jesus be the best escort? Yep. Jesus, are you ready? Yep. Okay, Roy, say goodbye to your little friend. Give us a moment. Yeah, if you do any kind of work like this or you're interested in it, I highly recommend looking into being able to release dead people. And then if you get into that, you'll probably get into all kinds of things. But anyway, yeah. So, okay. So did we successfully release this dead person to the light? Yep. Thanks, Jesus. Okay. So Roy, your soul's the only soul that inhabits your body. Yes. Okay, Roy, get back to work and do taxes for people. This is your time to shine, Roy. Okay. All right. So anything else to do for Roy? No. So we're complete with Roy. Yes. Okay. This was brought to you by the IRS. Just kidding. Yeah. I was about to say something mean about the IRS, but why put extra energy into that? You're welcome, Roy. What did I want to show you? There was something. Oh, let's see. Okay, well, this is. Yeah, what did I thought I had something that had to do with what I was just saying, but I was going to show this earlier. So, little break from energy work. It's a good Rumi poem. I love, love, love Rumi. We are stars wrapped in skin. The light you are seeking has always been within. I really believe it's all an inside job. Like whatever is getting our attention, especially. Yeah. So, for example, Ukraine and everything that's happening there, I know, Koop, you said that was really bugging you.
Yeah.
And then I tried to wave my magic wand and say, have a good time and don't worry about that right now. But anyway.
Well, I mean, I've had to disconnect a little bit. I mean, I can't. I was like, yeah, I was really. I mean, yeah, I mean, it would be debilitating otherwise. I mean, I have to continue my life. But yeah, I mean, the whole maternity ward thing. There's a picture of the mother getting hauled out on the stretcher she was pregnant. And I just found they just to follow up. Yeah, they're both dead. They both died.
Yeah. I haven't seen that one, but I've seen a bunch of it.
There
And
was a 10-year-old girl that was just like Bria when she was 10. That I really lost it on that one.
yeah.
I saw a clip where, some family got obliterated by a mortar, and after you hear this dog just screaming, ah, ah! Oh, it was horrible. It went
Oh,
on
what
and
a
on
great
and on
trigger
and
for
on.
you specifically. Yeah. So here's the deal. This is my take on it. I too am disturbed by all of this stuff. However, the difference is, like, as a human, like, I've given some money to an organization that helps as much as I could. Um, and I send love, and if any work comes up that gets my attention around that cause, I do it. But as disturbing and horrific as it is, it's not triggering me. So the distinction, like when I talk about, like, if something's really lighting you up, not in a good way, but like triggering you, um, there's really something to look at there. And just because there are atrocities in the world, like, I really look into, for me, like, what gets lit up for me. So, like I've mentioned, when Trump was elected, that was a big one where I felt like I couldn't even function until I cleared some other energy around that was not caused by Trump, but got triggered by Trump.
Yeah.
Once I cleaned those up, not that I don't get triggered by Trump sometimes, but, like, ever since the day he stepped in or was elected, and I dealt with it energetically, I've felt pretty much fine. And when I get super riled up about something beyond just seeing as a human, this is gross. When I get really riled up, that's my hint that something in me is needing to be taken care of, if that makes sense. I know I'm not being terribly articulate, but I really believe there's magic in our triggers. Um, and so, as horrific as it is to see everything you just described or hear everything you just described, um, like, when I hear that, I go, as a human, I'm like, oh, it's horrible. But it's not my particular trigger. So for you,
Mhm.
Coop, there's probably something in there of where you feel vulnerable, or you have old vulnerability, or old trap stuff that is being highlighted by what you're seeing, because I truly believe the world is a mirror.
It's
And
anyway.
so,
You said that where your triggers, that's where your magic lies. Mr. Campbell said something similar. Where you find your dragon, that's where your treasure is. I mean, they kind of go together. That's what dragons do. They guard their treasure. They keep
okay.
you away from it.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why one of the reasons. Well, first of all, I'm trying to coax magic people out of hiding, but also, I just want people to know ways to feel better. And I get it. Not everybody wants to use a pendulum. You can also use muscle testing, etc., etc., etc. But if you check out The Emotion Code by Bradley
Yeah.
Nelson,
So
I'm so curious where your book is. Did you ask Mom?
yeah. No, well, and her memory's so bad she doesn't remember ever even seeing it.
Okay. Um,
So,
Yeah, but if you read the emotion code, just anybody, check out the emotion code. And at the very least, if you read it, it's an easy read, and it really hits home why you might want to learn how to check it for yourself, your children, your animals, um, your community, whatever. That tool in itself is worth its price in gold. Just saying. Um, and so for example, if you find yourself really triggered by something, like, for me, when Trump was elected and I'm in a pool of nothing can ever be okay again, then I'm like, what am I going to do with myself? Oh yeah, I'm going to check myself energetically. And if nothing else, check yourself, ask, okay, pendulum, are there any trapped emotions being highlighted for me right now? There's a million ways to ask it. And if you get a yes, then you use his system, which is fucking easy. You just need your yes and no. The hardest part is getting more comfortable with your yes and no system. For me, it's a pendulum, or it used to be muscle testing more. Um, it's life changing. Like, Dave had mysterious right hip pain for fucking 7 years. until we released some trapped emotions from when he was just a little guy. And then it's been gone.
Well, and
It's
if I could get into that, it would help me, and then I could also add it to my computer technician diagnostic bag. You know,
OMG, Koop.
that sounds like I mean, it wouldn't hurt anything. That's pretty non-invasive. I mean, it could.
It gives
So
me
yeah,
full body chills for what it's worth. Little chill validation
yeah.
bumps.
That
Um,
I'm gonna yeah. I should incorporate that. That sounds.
yeah, if I
At
was a
least
real estate agent, oh my God,
there you go. That's another. That'd be good. Another good
share
outlet.
houses. Because if you're having trouble selling a house, there's probably a reason that's not obvious. Yeah. But oh my God, Coop, just the idea of that just
Yeah. Right.
makes my heart smile to sound cheesy. Um,
Well,
good at
no,
that.
okay. I have to do that now. Another thing I found on my to-do list.
Well, you know what? Don't.
Well,
Okay.
no, but all the things I want to do it. It's just
Yeah. Oh my God, Coop, I hear you, and I just want to tell you. I've told you this before, but one of the things I really appreciate about you, just as a person, just knowing you, but then now doing this on my show, like who knows how many people will see you. Like I always see that my show has had lots of views afterwards, but a view might qualify as like 30 seconds or something. But people do check it out. Some people, and I just really appreciate your openness, especially as a man. So it's already hard to be vulnerable in front of people as a female. But for a dude, you just know lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people are having a fucking hard time, just in general in life. And then add into it everything, like, all of it, we've all been here in the world. Everything. And a lot of people are really fucking struggling. And so you admitting, or me admitting, that sometimes it's just hard to like go out to the fucking mailbox and just get that one fucking thing done. Um, yeah, right now I'm not feeling it, so I'm like, what the fuck? But I've been there many, many times, and I think it's just helpful for people. I've been told many, many times since I've been doing my show, it's helpful for people to know they're not alone.
yeah. That's kind of. I feel like I had anything to lose. I mean, yeah, I was kind of maybe. I mean, put it out there. Just let. I mean, if no one knows, no one can help you. You know. So why keep it hidden anymore? I was kind
Yeah,
of. That's how far I was. Like gone. I was like, my pride is far gone by now. So just let it all
good.
hang out.
Love that shit. Like it's time to just be human and show the all the other monkeys what this monkey is doing.
Yeah.
And like it's I don't wish anybody to be having a hard time, but it's helpful to know I'm not the only one, or you're not the only one. And so many people are afraid to say it and add social media on top of it. Oh my God. I realized during I started writing about it. Like so much of my pain comes from shooting on myself. And for me personally, I don't have to tell me twice, stay home. Fuck yeah. For me, it's great. I have my alone times, but then Dave comes home at night and he's here 4 days out of the week. And that's lovely. And what's my point? Oh, and so I was, feeling so low, even though I woke up to a beautiful Southern California day. My husband telling me he loves me. I have food. I'm not being bombed. Cute. I'm also not being kissed by a dog,
At least
but
it's high.
but that's one of your bonuses. But even though, despite all these lovely things, I was feeling like shit, and like, how dare I? Like, I could drive to the beach, but I don't want to. But I feel like I should want to, and it's like so much pain is caused for me by me feeling like I should be doing this, or I should be feeling better, or I should be happier, or I should. Oh my God, it's so toxic.
Yeah,
Um,
and yeah, I kind of got out of the. I was Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. I did all
oh,
really got into Twitter, but yeah, no, I had to get off that for sure because I
well,
mean it's
thank you
all.
for reminding me what I was going to say.
I mean, even so, I can still make my life look great if I wanted to, you know.
Oh my God. Well, all I could see, thank you for reminding me. So that day, like what led me into it is like I woke up before Dave, got on my phone, started looking at Facebook or the news on Facebook, and which is a shit show. And And I realized later, it's like, oh my God, I'm seeing all these friends, like they're at the beach or they're having drinks with friends or they're doing all these things. And it's like, I could be doing those. I should want to do those things.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it led me down into this shit spiral of shitting on myself.
Like great Will and Grace. So she meets Harry Connick Jr.
Hmm.
and Harry Connick Jr. He wants to go. He wants to go like, let's go for a bike ride in the country and go like look for pumpkins. And she's like, oh my God, he thinks I'm one of those people that does things. You know, he's one of those doers, and he thinks I have to go do things now. They ride around the country and they're miserable all weekend. But yeah,
Oh, that's
some
perfect.
people
Yeah.
do things. Some people just. I'm not really. It's like, yeah, I'm. I mean, I should want to go see the Grand Canyon, or I climb Mount Everest or whatever. But no, I'm cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so perfect. Yeah. Oh, you thought I was one of those people who does things.
He does things, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let's probably wrap it up since it's afternoon. But Erica says, "Yeah, Coop, you were one awesome and open dude.
Yeah.
Kudos, Koopos to you."
I'm just
Uh,
glad to be here. If it helps anybody, yeah, that's an extra bonus for me because yeah, I'm really here selfishly for myself.
well, yeah, but I think just us talking. Not to toot our horns, Coop, but I think it does help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
helps
I
me.
have lots of great things in my life, but I have lots of things that are less than awesome, I guess. And you know, I just think it's important as monkeys to see what the other monkeys are doing. I think did I go off last week about like not knowing how one of my dead boyfriends died, Daryl, and it's just like, man, I think it's important to know how people died because us monkeys want to know how to be better monkeys and maybe avoid that thing that monkey didn't, avoid. Or it's important to know
Makes
what
sense.
the rest of us are doing. Yeah, because we can't just live in isolation. Um,
Yeah, me
oh,
too.
anyway, so I'm going to check with my Pendy to make sure we're done. But Mary says, "Yay, this was a great Magic Monday. Thanks, Colleen and Coop. Yay. You
Thanks.
are welcome, Mary. It's great to see you. So let's just wrap this up. So my name is Colleen. Okay, it is. Okay. Anything else to do for the group right now? No. Okay. So we're going to leave it at that. Yes. Okay. So did we even do anything for the group? Like, I guess we released. Okay. Again, we're done. So we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to say out loud right now, I am vowing to myself, I am not going to beat myself up about anything I forgot or anything I started talking about and then trailed off and then remember later, like, oh, fuck me, I didn't finish that story. My beat up times have really gone down.
I think we're good. I don't think there's any loose ends.
All right. So is this a good place to stop? Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. For watching now or in the future. And if you ever know of somebody you think might benefit from watching the show, please invite them. Or if you'd like a session for yourself, go to energyhealingwithcolleen.com and you can check me out there or send me a message here or I don't know what you mean, Pila. Can I have healing energy if you can? Okay, Pila, you can send me a private message if you had anything to expand on there. Yeah, but and Yvonne, I'm gonna put you on, Vonna, because you're just so fucking adorable and I love you so much. Anyway, thank you, Coop. I love you, and I love you for watching, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If I can do anything for any of you, or if you have any ideas for the show, please let me know. But I'll see you next week, or hopefully, Coop, we'll see you next week, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Coop.